Would your pet business pass the pub test? The power of personality marketing. Last month, the cast was announced for the second season of UK Celebrity Traitors. Now, for my American friends who might not know what on earth I'm talking about, The Traitors has become one of the biggest TV shows in the UK over the last few years. The premise is simple. A group of contestants live together in a Scottish castle and work together on challenges to build up a prize pot. But hidden amongst them are a handful of secret traitors chosen by the host. The job of the traitors is to secretly murder contestants each night and avoid being caught, while the rest of the group, known as the faithful, try to work out who's lying and banish them from the game before it's too late. It's basically a giant game of suspicion, manipulation, mind games and social strategy, and it's also a ton of fun, and the residents of Town Farm are huge fans. We also tune in to the celebrity version, which pretty much follows the same format, except all the money goes to charity. And in this version, you get famous comedians, actors, athletes and TV personalities all accusing each other of betrayal over breakfast in a spooky castle. And I can hear some of our listeners rolling their eyes now and muttering reality TV bollocks. And yeah, it kind of is, but it's also a fascinating dissection of human behaviour. How people react under pressure, who panics, who manipulates, who stays calm, who follows the crowd, who asks good questions, who folds the second someone points a finger at them, who can't tell a lie to save their lives. And something else this programme demonstrates really well is how quickly perception becomes reality. Because in this game, once enough people think you're a traitor, you are in trouble whether you actually are one or not. And this doesn't just apply to television, it happens in business too. This is why it is super important for you to take control of your reputation. See, if you don't define your reputation, other people will happily do it for you. And once a perception settles in, rightly or wrongly, it can be very hard to shift. Dan Kennedy says, your reputation is ultimately what you get paid for. Yes, good Google reviews are vital, but they only get read when clients go looking for them. Your real living and breathing reputation is what people hear and read about you. See, you and your business are going to be known for something whether you like it or not. So why not take control of what is being said by dog owners, shelters, pet businesses and organisations in your town? Why not control the narrative and fuel word of mouth about your amazing services? And this is why I'm always encouraging dog daycare owners to go beyond basic social media posting and start creating what I call expert enhancing marketing assets. These are things that elevate your status in the eyes of dog owners. I'm talking about things like printed newsletters, guides, books, podcasts, educational videos, articles in local papers, speaking opportunities, charity partnerships, community events, educational content, branded systems and processes, the kind of stuff that makes people say, oh yeah, I've heard of them, or they seem to be everywhere lately. In my world, my clients call this domnipresence. See what I did there? This is basically where you show up everywhere in your ideal client's world. This is real reputation building packed with your personality with a good sprinkling of celebrity status. The fact is, known businesses grow faster than unknown businesses. Trusted businesses grow faster than ignored businesses, and memorable businesses spread their word of mouth far quicker than bland ones ever will. This is why things like old school paper and ink marketing still matter too. A printed newsletter landing on a kitchen table instantly feels more authoritative than another forgettable Facebook post which disappears into the algorithm graveyard at the end of each day. And I say this as someone who does a lot of social media stuff too. But the fact is though, not everyone uses social media, and as we discussed in Top Dog, Top Dollar Dispatch number 4, what affluent dog owners are looking for in a daycare, you often need to use offline media media to connect with affluent dog owners who live in your community. This is why many of my clients have created expert enhancing guides, tip sheets, and other lead magnets. More on that in a couple of weeks' time. Imagine the difference between saying, "We do enrichment," versus handing a prospect a beautifully branded guide called The Busy Dog Blueprint: 7 Ways to Prevent Boredom, Anxiety, and Destructive Behavior in Modern Family Dogs. One sounds like an average daycare, the other sounds like a goddamn expert. The sad fact is, most pet businesses sound exactly the same as their competitors, which is why they end up competing on price, which puts you hugely at risk when a new big box or franchise dog daycare comes into town. Not because they have a more personality, but because they usually have deeper pockets to fund a discounted promotion for longer. Which brings me back to the Traitors and something fascinating I read in the Sunday Times. The producers said one of the main things they look for when casting contestants is whether they pass the pub test. Producer Lewis Thurslow said last year, "We don't feel like we have to try to cast a villain because the game brings that out in people naturally. Players have to be likable. One thing we always think is, would you like to sit down with them in the pub and have a drink? Basically, would they enjoy being around them? Would they feel likable, interesting, trustworthy, funny, warm, human?" And honestly, I think that's a bloody brilliant question for pet business owners to ask too. And it's a question I'm asking you today. Would your pet business pass the pub test? Not just you personally, but your business. This is crucial because dog owners in your town, your future customers, are constantly asking themselves, are these my kind of people? This is where personality marketing comes in. And no, I don't mean dancing around on TikTok, pointing at captions like a children's TV presenter on acid. I mean showing people what your business actually stands for. Your story, your standards, your philosophy, your quirks, your humor, your pet business hits, your mission, your beliefs about dogs, your team culture, your enrichment ideas, your behind the scenes moments, your client success stories. All these things, all the things that make your business feel alive and distinctly you. In my Dog Daycare Success Academy, we start off the coaching program by doing a lot of work around what I call defining your business DNA. Because just like fingerprints, no two DNA profiles are identical, which raises a very important question. Can you honestly say your business is notably different to your competitors? I'm talking about the perception of your business in your local town. Does your business have a personality? Your superfans are created through personality. And yes, occasionally this means saying things some people won't agree with. That's fine too. In fact, I'd argue it's necessary. Because to be genuinely liked by some people, you often have to risk being disliked by others. Strong brands with personality create emotional connections and reactions. This applies to me too. Here's what one of my clients, Kim Karolides from Boston, had to say. So we were in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and we went to a talk that Dom gave, and we were like, oh, this guy's an ass. We did not like him, and then a few months later, I was at my desk and something came on. It was Dom talking about enrichment, and I loved it, and I signed up immediately. Now, Kim and her husband Bob joined my Elite Mastermind last year. They are now Dog Daycare Success Academy members, and in early June, they flew to the UK to attend the DDSA immersion event at Lumley Castle, County Durham. They went from not sure to super fans of me and my coaching because I put my personality into my marketing. So personality matters. In fact, it's always mattered, but even more so in today's world where AI generated slop and copy and paste marketing is making more businesses feel robotic by the day. The businesses that will win over the next decade won't necessarily be the slickest, they'll be the most human. So ask yourself, what are you putting out into the world right now that convinces dog owners yours is a caring, human business worth trusting with a beloved family member? And if the answer is not much, Maybe it's time to stop hiding behind generic social media posts and start letting people see who you really are. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. P.S. In this week's dispatch video, I briefly mentioned the DDSA immersion that we had at the beautiful Lumley Castle in County Durham, which you'll find out more about next week. Now, this was the first DDSA immersion event with the new format. My members absolutely loved it. We had turbo hot seats, breakout sessions, a special guest in Stephen and Arla Reedy from A Content Space. Stephen delivered an amazing couple of sessions all about creating content that make your business more visible and easier to connect with potential clients. The next immersion event is happening in August. Vance Disney Guy Morris is the special guest. And if you are a dog daycare or pet resort owner in the USA and you're finding it harder to attract and keep affluent dog owners, then being at this event should be a total no-brainer. You can go to petbusinessmarketing.com/Success Academy to add your name to the waitlist.